Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you can see me and hear me and all that good stuff. Let me know if you can. And if I'm too loud, I can't tell if I am or not. So we'll see when this thing kicks off. So let me know if y'all can see and hear me and all that good stuff. Music City. What's this thing doing? All right. Can y'all see me, see and hear? Am I too loud? Just want to make sure because I got my speakers cranked up here. Might need to turn this down. Yep, riding solo tonight. Here and see the dog. Actually, it was on this dang phone. So, but all right. Yes, 17 is out this evening, so he had something to take care of, and he'll be back next week. Hello, everyone. Yeah, we've got quite a few in here. Ranger, Double B, Big Al, CZ Shadow 2, Uncle Dan, Romans, MZ. Let me do a quick roll call, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Manny Things, IBG, MD Polo, C Kim, Wheeled and Well Armed. Let's see here. Man, we got a bunch of people was in early. Sorry, I was trying to catch up on some stuff, and I wasn't. Pistol Pete wasn't able to get into the chat earlier. I just said hello, and then I had to answer a bunch of stuff. Guy comment. Wow. Okay, let me catch back up because this thing is flying. All right. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. I appreciate you joining in. We have a lot to talk about. And hello, Al Osborne, Young Guns, Range Randy, Armsman. I'm very pissed. I don't know if y'all know why I'm pissed, but I'm pissed. And it is over the USPSA 59, or it's the new USPSA rules for the carry optics. I don't know if y'all have heard about it. I heard about it when it was released. And hello, Keenan, Fina, and Captain Phil. They raised the carry optic weight from 45 ounces to now 59 ounces. Hello, Work. He says he's watching. He just texted me to 59 ounces. Do y'all realize how heavy 59 ounces is? My TSO is under 59 ounces, and it's single action. I know why they did it. I have a feeling why they did it, because the 92X performance, but it's still not 59 ounces. I mean, maybe the CZ Custom, the A01, there's some guns out there that are pretty heavy beast, and I think they're trying to get them in. But what I'm mad about, they could have done this change a long time ago. CZ has had the Carry Optic Shadow 2 in Europe, Canada, everywhere. But, it was too heavy. Even under our restriction, which was 45 ounces, it was too heavy to bring into the States and compete with. So what they did is, wouldn't bring it in. So I don't know if they were trying to get that in, which is great. However, what it forced a lot of people to do was take their CZ Shadow 2s, their Tanfos, some of their other guns, and have them milled from custom shops that ramped up, did the tooling, did all this other stuff, and spent all this money on this materials and machinery and all this other stuff to help USPSA shooters be carry optic legal. And it's true. I have the choice to shoot a Glock or to shoot a polymer gun or to shoot something else, but I spent my money, to have 2 of my Shadow 2s done, not just 1, 2 out of the 3. And I know a lot of other people did too, with the Tanfos and the Shadow 2s and stuff like that, and the stock 3s. So now what they've done overnight is they've made our guns 45 ounces, which were one of mine is 44 ounces. The other one is 45.5 ounces with the extended plate, with the optic and everything. So I'm legal all the way around. So now they've made us make them skinny, and now we've had to go obese overnight. So now we have to add weight to them. I mean, we don't have to. I shoot mine fine, and I'm not, the pro or any of that kind of stuff. But now 59 ounces, that's a freaking boat anchor. That is insane, in my opinion. If they wanted to bring it to 50 or whatever, but 59 ounces, that's a lot of extra weight. So Now you can add base plates, or a base, like a brass weighted base plate. You can add brass weighted grips, but you're basically making the rear of the gun completely heavy while the muzzle is all milled out. So, and you can't put any external weights. You can't hang a flashlight. You can't, I was even thinking of where your cutout is, maybe milling like a lead or a tungsten, area to fill that, where you could put the two pieces together and put a screw through them in your Picatinny rail where the cutouts are. But you can't do that because nothing can be external. So now you have to go back into the slide, or excuse me, into the frame, and maybe drill weights in it or something internally. I mean, it's just crazy. Not to mention what they've done is taken all of these shops, Fire for Effect and Primary Machine and all these shops that ramped up for that, and they've basically butchered their income overnight. So, and a lot of those shops depend on that extra USPSA income, to make those specialty slides and to get them legal. And now they just cut the legs out from under them. And I just think that's really a piss poor decision on my part. I think what they should have done is kept carry optics like it is, and then maybe brought in another class of carry optics. They could call it like carry optics minor or carry optics major or something to that effect, and allow single action to come in. That seems so much smarter to me. Just bring a whole nother classification in and allow single action in, because then people with STI host, maybe that want to get a 2011 milled for a dot, that's all they have to do is just get it milled and they're ready to play in the game too. And I think that would even bring more people in rather than this, which could potentially piss people off. I mean, I'm not pissed off. I'm still going to, I'm pissed off, but I'm still going to do it. But, I just think it was they could have done this so long ago. People have been complaining about this way long before now, saying, hey, why do we have to cut our guns up? Make it legal, make it like, ISIVIC and all these other, things overseas, just keep it all across board. And they were like, no, 45 ounces, no 45 ounces. And now all of a sudden 59 ounces. I mean, good Lord, I've seen memes where people are taking guns and tying weights to them and all kinds of crap. And that's basically what it is. And carry optics, I mean, if you're going to shoot carry optics, that could even be a gun that you would carry. You're not going to carry a 59 ounce gun. I mean, most people aren't going to, but whatever. I mean, I just think it was major overkill. I think they missed the mark on this. This is strictly my opinion. You can definitely differ if you would like to. What's up, P-View? He is actually out tonight, so he will be back next week. So it's just me, but hopefully I can entertain y'all. And, like all of the, 2011s and things like that, single action, they have to go into a major. So, why not make a carry optic field for them that doesn't have to be completely open? Just because you shoot a single action carry optic, you have to shoot open, I mean, or not open, I'm sorry. You can shoot limited minor, but I just think it would be a lot more fun. I think it would be a lot more fun to just add another class, personally. Just give people like that maybe want to shoot open / carry optics a division to jump into, but whatever. I'll get off that soapbox. Yeah, Uncle Dan, you're right. Your ARs are that light. I think, yeah, and to do those Shadow 2s and the Tanfos and stuff like that, Pistol Pete, that's not cheap. That costs a lot of money to do that to those guns. It's not cheap. So, and if you've I was there when he was doing mine a lot of the time, and I mean, there is a craft to the way he does it. Fire for Effect does it. I mean, it's not just chopping a bunch of stuff up. I mean, there is actually a true passion and a technique to do this. I mean, they're taking little parts off and weighing it. I mean, it's a process. And now all of a sudden they just rip the rug right out from under those guys. That's not right. So now what are they going to do? And that was kind of my thought process. Is someone going to come out, and here's what's going to happen, I'm telling you, and this is my prediction. The 92X is going to be in, which is fine. The A01 is going to be in, which is fine. But now you're going to end up seeing polymer frames where people are drilling them and putting weights in them and all this crazy stuff. I mean, or an all steel Glock frame. There could be a company that could come out with that and just offer the Glock frame for people, you know, that want a really, really heavy gun. And SIG could have helped lead this along too, because their Legion prices have plummeted. I mean, are not plummeted, but they've gone way down. Matter of fact, on Grab a Gun, I just have, they sent me a thing that said, Shield Legions on sale, grab a quote. So I got a quote, and I will tell you what it is. I don't know how well you can see it. It was $989.99, and now you can get $120 off, and it's $869.99. So if you're going to see a decrease in pricing like that, there's something coming. So I'm sure SIG probably has, hell, they might even have a 55-ounce gun coming out, you know, who knows. But it is what it is. So, you know, we will move on and press on, but I just don't really think, I think they should have rethought this whole process personally. Those are strictly my opinions. People can disagree with me if they choose to. Let's see here. I think everyone here knows, but this is just to mention. Let's see here. I think everyone here knows this, but just want to mention how good of a guy Big J is. Every time I have a question, he answers his phone. It gives me his unbiased opinion. Oh, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, PewView, if y'all haven't checked out PewView, that guy's a freaking trick shot artist, man. He can shoot some crazy stuff. Check him out, though. He does a lot of stuff on TikTok, too. And if y'all don't know, I started TikTok, I don't know, a little while ago. And I threw some videos up on there, and some of them blown up. So I just did it. I'm doing it to try to get more shooting community out there. You know, I've tried the, what was it? You know, I've tried some of these other apps, and they just don't do very well because they don't have an actual app. You have to log into them. And TikTok seems to be doing pretty good. They do pull a lot of videos down. Like I did some slow motion videos and loud banging, and they get all ticked off, so they'll kick some videos off. But 17's just out tonight, so he had something come up. He'll be back. But thank you, Music. I appreciate you loving the gray hair. Yeah, this is my, what is it, Corella DeVille look, you know, with the little skunk half gray and half black. But, you know, hey, what's up, Ryan M? Texas teachers in the house. Awesome. Let's see here. I know I was missing some things here a minute ago. Let me catch up. All right. Also, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I got the opportunity to check out a really cool gun that, honestly, I didn't even know what it was. I've seen it, I guess, in some movies, but I didn't really put two and two together. But it's been in Death Wish. Charles Bronson carried it, but it is a Wildey, W-I-L-D-E-Y Survivor. And it's actually a 475 upper, and it also comes with a 45 Win Mag barrel. This thing comes with dual barrels, and it's a beast, man. I was like, that is a big ass gun. It's like a 10-inch barrel or something like that. It is freaking awesome. But if you want to see it, you can check it out on Instagram. It's on my stories. I had really never seen one and held one in person, and a buddy of mine owns a shop, and he's got one in for sale, and the thing is pretty legit, pretty cool. Anyone interested in the new STI Staccato XL? Yeah, I think the XL is pretty cool. PewView just picked up a STI. I can't remember what he picked up. I think it's the one with the RMR cut. So, but he seems to really love it. And I've shot one. I've shot the STIs before I owned an STI, but I have not shot the XL yet. But I think that's pretty awesome. Let's see here. Ranger has a question. Can we talk about that guy that was being harassed by the government, by them asking for his medical records and an inventory of his guns? I only saw a little bit of that personally. I think think it was Guns and Gadgets maybe that was talking about that, or someone was talking about that. But honestly, I don't know. I didn't listen to the whole thing or watch the whole article. So Ranger, and I'm just this way, okay? I personally don't want to speak out of turn. If something's not correct, I want to know all the facts before I start speaking. So I would need to do a little more investigating on that. However, if it's true and he is being harassed by the government for his medical records, that's BS, period. Matter of fact, this week, just so you know this, I'm in Oklahoma, and they actually passed a law here, and because they have medical marijuana here, but you can pay $25 from what I understand, and anybody can have medical marijuana. But they passed a law here now where you can still keep your 2A, accreditation, or you don't lose anything if you're a medical marijuana smoker. So, even if you're going to do weed, I know you shouldn't be under the influence while you're messing with a firearm. However, if you have it in your system and you're clean, I don't think you should lose your rights. So they just passed that here supposedly. Oh, STI or new Dan Wesson? Hey, what's up, Two-Wheeling Nut? Vanessa Kitty, hello. Let's see here. STI or new Dan Wesson? Man, they're both fantastic guns. This is my opinion, and because I want one so bad, I want to get the new DWX, the Dan Wesson DWX, personally. I've had STIs, I've shot them, they're great guns. I want to get the Dan Wesson DWX, and then I will have it milled for a dot. But because it takes P10F mags, you can change the grips on it, because on the STI frames, they come with medium grips or a medium grip module, and it does not fit my hand correctly. So that's why I like to put the large palm swells on an actual gun. I want to be able to replace the grips. Melting a CZ and basically a 1911 together that's tunable, and of course the STI is tunable. But I think I personally can have more configuration to set the gun up like I want it with the with the Dan Wesson DWX. That's just my opinion. There's nothing wrong with STI. They're great guns. So it would be really coming down to what you prefer. I will wait to see which is better. One of them will be mine. Cool. I want the M&P Core. M&P Core is a good gun. I had the original one, forever, and they shoot great. I never had an issue with it. Yeah, Big Al. I know Big Al's in Oklahoma. Yeah, Oklahoma counties are doing the same thing. Yeah, because now, on the DWX, as far as shooting in the competition and stuff like that, you could shoot it in limited minor, and that's why I was kind of saying they should have opened up another, classification, maybe for like a single action carry optic for the DWX and for the STIs and stuff like that, because that would have been, really cool. You wouldn't have had to go into limited minor or go into open to shoot your carry optic single action gun. Let's see here. Big Johnson, have you seen the channel Ryder's Ridge? He does a lot of 1911 versus 1911 video. He has a great shot, starting to get into CZs. No, I haven't. I'll check him out. Ryder's Ridge. I'll write that down. Yeah, I'm always interested in, checking out some new stuff, checking out some new channels, because that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Yes, CKIM is exactly right. It is a felony to lie on that form. That's what they say. So you don't want to do that on your paperwork. Ryder's Range. I'm sorry. Ryder's Range. All right. Okay, let's get on to some other stuff. I've had a lot of questions, and maybe some of the people are on the chat who was asking the questions, and I'm going to do a follow-up video about the Bog Death-Grip. That's the tripod that I did all the shooting with, and I've done a ton of testing with. And I've got the video up if you want to see it. But people have asked me, like, in detail, and I thought it kind of came across in the video because I kind of said it, but I guess I didn't get into great detail. But would I recommend it? Would I say people should buy it? Well, I have only shot with it about 450 plus rounds, something like that. And that was with AR-10 or 308 and 5.56. Probably 200 rounds of 308, and the rest were 5.56. And so far, it's awesome. I mean, the thing works brilliantly. You can literally set your gun in there, lock it down, lock your tilt, and it just stays there. I mean, you can walk off, you can go, you don't have to lean your gun against a tree to go use the restroom. You can just, leave it hanging there or setting there and go do what you need to do. But that thing is pretty awesome. Now, as far as will it hold up over a long period of time, I don't know that yet. That's why I'm going to continue using it and continue testing it. I also do long-term reviews. If you follow me on belts and stuff, I've got belt videos where I've done a 2.5-year review on a belt. So, I do follow-ups and stuff like that. But so far, I definitely think it's worth the money. And when I was looking at this, there's tripods that go from $150 all the way up to $1,400 for a tripod. I wasn't going to pay $1,400. And this is for what you get out of it for the price, I think it's pretty awesome. So far, I'm loving it. And the head is really nice. I mean, it's a heavy duty unit, and it weighs, and I even went back and put it in the video. I was actually able to finally get the true weight on a scale and see it for myself, and I put it up on Instagram. It's 7 pounds, 13.8 ounces total. That's with the head, that's with everything. So that's pretty awesome. Good deal. Yeah, Links Defense. Yeah, and if y'all haven't checked out Links Defense, man, he has some awesome bags. I run them, and man, he makes great gear. So pistol bags, rifle bags, whatever you want, medical kits, ankle medical kits. I mean, he's got some badass stuff. Thanks, Ranger. Yeah, I'm really digging the tripod a lot. And what's funny is on that 308, I was wondering if it was really going to kick back a lot, but I did find out when it was just sliding a little bit. I actually had some of the little metal claw feet versus just all rubber. I didn't have it adjusted, so some of the claws were on the concrete, and that's what was making it slide back. So if I would have used all rubber, because once I really flipped it over, I looked at it. If I would have used all rubber, it really probably would have locked down better. But it doesn't jump. It just, it kept the gun completely on target, as you can see from the shots. It just moves it back, and then just with the recoil. But it stays straight as an arrow as far as you're shooting. So I had no issues with that at all. Yeah, exactly. You could put mounting or spotting scopes. You could put all kinds of stuff on it. All right, Kyla. Yes. Have you seen anything about the SIG 210? They were supposedly releasing a model with carry grips and sights for less money than the target model. I heard they were going to do that. I personally haven't seen it yet, so I just don't know if it's released yet, or maybe the gun shops and stuff, haven't gotten it into inventory. So I don't know that yet. As soon as, I'll probably see it when you see it. But I haven't heard anything on it yet. Oh, had to go. Okay. Let's see here. Let me catch back up. Yeah, it flattens out to prone shooting. It's not 100% flat. It's kind of like this, but that's still pretty awesome. Because you don't really want the head all the way on the ground, because then you're going to be like this. But what's really cool about it, you could even run a bipod, and if you really wanted to, you could run a bipod on the front, and then you could run the bog on it too, down into this somewhat prone position. And man, that sucker would probably make it even more stable. If you wanted to do something like that, if you were really going for maybe super accurate groups and you didn't have a big bench, or level ground or something. And it does have a bubble level in the top too. So I noticed I put it on purpose. I kind of had it angled a little bit on the side of the hill in my backyard. And, I put one side down, less than the other side to compensate. And I looked at the bubble level and it was perfect with my adjustment. So you can get it really, really accurate. I mean, really level, I'm sorry. Yeah, and I heard, if anybody's curious, the DWX was supposed to be out the first quarter of this year. Well, we're, at the end of the month is the first quarter of the year. So I'm hoping they're going to be out the second quarter, could be like the first to the end, but I'm hoping they're coming out soon. Another thing, this week I will be shooting with I guess he's a tour manager for a pretty cool guy for Chad Prather. If y'all know who he is, he's got a show on YouTube and really big Second Amendment advocate. And I'm going to be shooting with his tour manager. He's going to be shooting some of my guns and playing around with things. So I'm going to be spending some time with him and his family or his wife and things. Letting them shoot guns, showing them some things if they need some help. But Steve is a really cool guy, and I looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hello, Bumblebee, or Double B. I'm sorry, not Bumblebee, Double B. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Fina. I said, and I was joking around, but what's funny is I said, man, I could probably shoot that Wildie in carry optics. It's single, or you really couldn't, but because they're not really looking at barrel size or any of that kind of stuff. It just has to be underweight. But exactly, I bet you could shoot that big old sucker, because my TSO is, I want to say it's like maybe 49 ounces or something like that, or maybe 50 ounces. No, I'm sorry. It's probably, I don't know, but it's under the 59, I believe. So I don't know. Where's my invite? Hey, man, Links, you are always invited to Texas and do that. Anytime you would like, you're welcome. And that goes for any of y'all. If y'all are ever in the Texas area, hit me up on Instagram, shoot me a DM, and if we can get together, I will definitely try that to link up. And you're more than welcome to shoot any of my guns. Now, you will need to bring your own ammo. I'm not a sponsored shooter by any means, but yeah. So we got that. Let's see. Let's open it up to questions. Anything y'all want to talk about? Anything fun and exciting? Anything you're looking for or you're excited to come out with? I'm just trying to see now. And I think it's going to be very interesting, since they raised it to 59 ounces, what the heck is going to be coming out. I'm sure SIG has got something coming out. I know we've got the 92X Performance. I'm just wondering if it's going to be everybody building like heavy duty Glock frames, or, what it's going to be. It's going to be interesting to see what the heck people come out with now to have that. But I don't really think it's going to be, I'll still be shooting my Shadow 2. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, to really have a 59 ounce gun. Of course, it's going to shoot, it's going to weigh so damn much. It's going to have no barrel if it's weighted correctly. If you've got all the weight at the back end, you're going to be holding it, and the barrel's just going to shoot straight to the ceiling. So you need to make sure it's balanced properly. But if they get the weight, correct in a lot of these guns, man, you're going to have some lasers out there. Yes, Kyla, you are correct. Little midget, little mini me or mini Mike dropped out, and that's good. I look at it this way. He wasted, God, what was it? I saw a number, but I already forget what it is. But he wasted a ton of money for nothing. So I don't know if he was using it as a tax write-off to keep his name in, view or whatever, but who cares? I mean, I was so sick of seeing his ads and stuff. I even had some of his ads on my videos, and I've had that other lady, Elizabeth Warren. I've had some of her ads on my videos, and I'm just like, please get that crap out there. But yeah, I'm glad he's gone. I hope they all keep falling. I hope they just fall like flies. Yeah, we're probably you're right, Captain Phil. We're probably gonna see a tungsten Glock 34. It's probably going to be a tungsten with a tungsten guide rod. I mean, that thing, all these things are going to be just so juiced up. And Scott, you're exactly right. I think SIG, if you saw the gun, a lot of people were saying it was fake, but if you saw the new gun that SIG was coming out with, it's an all steel X5, and I think that could have been a plateau push to get USPSA to go up to 59 ounces, so they can release that gun, and a lot of people will shoot it. And I feel bad for all the people who bought Legions, not that, or the the Legion X5. Not that it's a bad gun, it's just that heck, they haven't been out that long, and now all of a sudden they're going to come out with an all steel frame one. A lot of those people are going to be pissed off too, like I am about the Shadow 2, because they've invested in X5s and X5 tungsten frames, and now all of a sudden they're going to have a steel one out. So, and it's not, it's kind of going to be the same gun. It's not like it's a revamp and something really cool and new. It's just going to be a heavier gun, I'm sure. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, Romans, I don't see how 59 ounces couldn't be a flat shooting gun. I've got some guns that are heavy, but they're not that damn heavy, and they shoot flat as hell. But then again, it really, MD Polo saying $730 million is what Mini Mike spent. That's crazy. And then we're saying 500 million, 750 million. Yeah. Yeah, Pistol Pete, I'm kind of like you. I don't know if I really want that heavy a gun. I mean, if you have a really good grip and you've got, some good grips and, lock type grips on your gun, your gun's not, because hell, I know people run comps and stuff. I love comps, but, I can shoot my P10F, and y'all have seen videos. That thing is flat as hell, and there's no comp on it, and it's an all polymer gun. So, if you get that Gorilla Grip on it, you can pretty much control it. But a lot of those guns are going to end up driving themselves. You're just going to point it and pull the trigger, and you can have a crappy grip on it or not. It's not going to matter because it's so damn heavy. So there's just going to be a lot more forgiveness in those guns, I believe. Yes, Pistol Pete, that's what I was talking about earlier. I think with this, that will allow CZ to bring in the optic ready, that was heavier than the 45 ounces, and now it'll be perfectly legal, and then people will be even trying to make it heavier. Uncle Dan had to unload groceries. It's not a bad thing. You got some food, you're good. Yeah, Biden is, man, that guy is a piece of work. Exactly, Lawrence. That's a big deal. Heavy guns have their place, that's for sure. Same as light ones. It depends on what you're going to do with it. So, totally true. Yeah, Biden is he's pretty far out there. Ranger, we were just talking about the heavier guns for USPSA carry optics. They raised it from 45 ounces to now 59 ounces. Yeah, well, you can't hang anything off the front, Captain Phil. That's the thing about USPSA. It can't be anything external like a flashlight or anything like that. However, and I haven't done this in forever, but way back in the day, and I've told many people about this, and it actually really works, is I would take the gun apart, and inside the frame, if you go to Discount Tire, you can actually get those lead sticky tire weights like that they put on your rim to balance your tires. And what you can do is I had an iron rolling pin or like a metal rolling pin, and you can find the section that you need. Like if you've got a gap in there or a pocket where you can put weight, you can just measure it out like with a marker, and then I would roll it out, and then I would peel the back off of it, and I would stick the lead weight in there. And you can load a lot of lead weight, those little sticky lead weights inside your gun, and it'll make it super heavy, depending on how much weight you can get in it. But that was an old trick way back I used to use in golf too. If you need a toe heavier club or a heel heavier club, you can actually tear off a piece of lead weight, and you can stick it at the heel or at the toe, and that can help you create a draw or cut or something like that for drives. And that's an old school trick we used to do a long time ago, and it definitely helps. So if that's something you want to consider, go by Discount Tire, and they'll just give you a strip of tire weights, and you can try it and play around with it yourself. Super fan, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Uncle Dan's he's not going to share anything. Wow, 700 million, and that does not include online advertising Bloomberg spent. That's crazy. A lot of money. And here's what I suggested that he had done: not even run for president, just donate all that money to the 2A fighters, and fight for our rights. That would have been funny if he would have done that even on accident. I believe the SIG or the gun SIG did for the soldiers, that Man of the Tomb, the Unknown Soldier, are steel frame 320, so they already know how to make them. Yeah, I mean, heck, they make steel frame 1911s and stuff, so I don't think it's going to be any big deal from them to produce something different. And these comments are kind of flying by. Yep, Uncle Dan's a lead tape golfer. Kyle, I don't know if KS is going to jump on the Taurus G3. I don't know if he's going to or not. Yes, you're exactly right, Tattoo Dragon. He is still pushing a lot of money to the anti-gunners, and he'll continue to do so. He pretty much heads up that Mothers Against Gun Violence or whatever that group is. Matter of fact, I got a call from this weird number, and I was like, what the heck is that? It was a missed call because I was busy, and then I called it back, and it was one of those groups, and I just hit the block. I didn't even I heard her say what it was, and I just hit the block deal. I'm not going to mess with those idiots. I don't have time for that. Not at this time, Uncle Dan. He's not making videos that I've seen, so. Let's see here. What's your shortest 300 blackout barrel any of y'all run on an AR? I mean, I've seen a lot of 7-inch, things like that. I've even seen some 5-inch. Personally, I've shot a 300 blackout, but I don't own one. But I know that like that SIG Rattler, I mean, they're like, what is it, like a 5-inch barrel or something? I mean, it's really tiny. And that is the good thing about 300 blackout. It can handle it if it has the right barrel. 7.5. So Uncle Dan, I know Uncle Dan has one, yeah, 7.5. I've seen some people run the heck out of those, and they're cool. I mean, they are cool. They're even better suppressed. But I think the SIG Rattler was actually made to be non-suppressed. I mean, it even works perfectly, supposedly non-suppressed. I don't have one, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Big Al, you bring up a point, and I've been asked this a lot. Why don't I have 300 blackout? Well, for one, 300 blackout is expensive. It's very expensive when you shoot a lot. If you're just going to go shoot, 20 rounds or 50 rounds, it's not too bad. But when you go out and shoot, like for that test, 450 rounds or whatever, that stuff's not cheap. So a lot of people, just stay with the 5.56, and kind of the 300 blackout to me is kind of between 5.56 and 7.62 by 39. I mean, that's just kind of my opinion. I don't know. I'm not the ballistics guru, but not saying it. I mean, it's a bad round. I think it's a great round, but it's kind of, right there between. So if you really like 7.62 by 39, hell, it's cheaper than 300 blackout, but it just, it's just personal opinion. That's a good thing that we have, is we have choices. And I know that it's now been picked up by a lot of the SOCOM people and stuff like that. So I don't think 300 blackout is going anywhere. Yeah, and I've had a lot of people, that's what I'm saying. I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, get a 300 blackout so you can run it with your Trash Panda and things like that. I mean, and I've said this before many, many times. I'm a 30 caliber guy. I really love 308. I like 5.56, but I don't, and I'm not saying I won't ever. Just for right now, I'm not going to run out and buy a 300 blackout or build one or anything like that. That's just not what I'm going to do right now. Yeah, Rattle is a 5-inch barrel. That's what I thought it was, Keenan. Yeah, and I think the more 300 blackout, it's just like when 5.56 and 223 and all this stuff. I know it's been around forever, but you can find really good deals on it. And I think as 300 blackout even becomes more and more and more popular, we could see the ammo decrease. It's just, I think it will actually decrease in price, hopefully. .308's my deer killing round. Love it. Yeah, .308's been around forever, and 6.5 is a fantastic round. I've had people go, get rid of that .308 and get you a 6.5 and stuff like that. Man, if y'all knew how much .308 ammo that I actually own, y'all would freak out. So, and I've got, I don't know, 3 or 4 .308s. So, I think the interesting round was, is going to be like that 6.8, 6.8 and stuff like that. I think that's going to be pretty cool. It's just, a lot of those rounds, how easily are they going to be able to be found? And, is it going to be like a boutique round? I know it's going to be expensive, but, everybody's like, oh, 6.8, this and this and this, it's kind of like 224. I mean, the Valkyrie and all that stuff was supposed to change the world, and now it's gone bye-bye. Hell, I can't even find, not that I really care about it, but like when I go into stores and stuff, I'll just ask questions like, hey, do y'all still carry 224? And they're like, nope, no guns, no ammo. We don't even stock it anymore. And I'm like, yeah. And I know that a lot of people still like it and some people still own it. I'm not saying it's a bad gun. It didn't have the hype to carry it through. Thanks, Big Al. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, thumbs up. We always appreciate the thumbs up. Yeah, and I'm not just going to let the chat go. We're going to fill in and do what we need to do. So I appreciate y'all being understanding. We all have lives outside of YouTube. So let's see here. Oh yeah, shut up, buddies. AR308 or 308. Yeah, AR10s are super fun. Like I really like mine. Mine's a gas gun. It's a lot of fun. Matter of fact, with the trash panda on it in the video, I have a video. I didn't put it up. I was trying to add it in, but or no, I did put it up. But I'm shooting the 308, and I just put the trash panda on it to try it for the first time, and I haven't adjusted the gas block or anything. So man, that thing was overgassed. I mean, it didn't hurt anything. It ran perfectly. But man, that ammonia flew up in my face, and the mags were full of the gas, and it actually turned the inside of the mags like really gray. And I show it on the video so y'all can see it. But and man, that sucker's loud without a suppressor. And then when I put the suppressor on it, it was a hell of a lot quieter, and that's even indoors. Now outdoors, it would be quieter even with the suppressor off. But it's a great gun, and I'm just I think as the 6.5 gets more, or as it gets more popular in the AR platform, I think a lot of people are going to get 6.5s. I know they already have them, but I think they're going to become even more popular in the AR10 or AR platform. I think that's going to be a really cool round too. Yes, no mics. We do have life outside of YouTube, so it's sometimes you got to step away and do things like that. Yes, wheeled and well armed. 50 Beowulf and shoot is every 3 months. $26 for 20 rounds of Cabela's. Yeah, 50 Beowulfs are freaking awesome. They are awesome. And that's one rifle. That's one caliber I have never shot. I have never shot a 50 Beowulf. I want to. I just never have. I don't know anybody around me locally that has one. And I'll tell you what's cool is if you can ever go to Texas Gun Experience, they have over, I think it's over 150 fully automatic rifles. I mean, they've got some sweet stuff. It is awesome to go there and just walk through and look at all these things. I mean, you name it, they got it. And they even have videos up. You can check them out of like the full blown, like, they got the old crank. They got some pretty awesome stuff. Let's see here. Hey, Brian, what's up, man? Appreciate you being on. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Let's see here. No mics. YouTube might be my life for a while. Gotcha. All right. Well, what else is there? Oh, one thing I wanted to talk about, and I really think people need to pay attention to this more so. I've been carrying forever. I mean, I don't even remember. I've been carrying so long, I can't remember the year that I actually got my carry license. I got it way back in the day when you had to, it was a 2-day deal. You had to take your written at one place, and then you had to go shoot, and then you had to physically go get fingerprinted, and then you had to physically go get a picture taken. Then you had to put it all together, and then you had to mail it off, and you had to wait forever. It was way back in the day. Now it's a lot simpler. But so I've been carrying for a long time. And one thing that people do not account for is cleaning now, especially with carry optics, but with cleaning their carry gun. And what I mean by that is, we shed, and I'm not trying to be gross, but we shed daily. You lose hair off your arms, you lose skin, you lose all that. We all know that. It is amazing if you will physically look at your carry gun, if it's been on your person all day, you will have skin on it. You will have things like that. Well, with your RMR or your red dot, you got the glass there, and that's like a little catcher, so it can catch all of that. So, every time when I take mine out, and I'm not going to show it, but when I pick it up in the mornings and stuff, I leave it in the holster, and I just leave it there, and then I'll, give it a blow, and then I've got this little, I don't know, it's like a baby thing where it blows air and you can kind of dust it off. But a lot of people leave it in their holster, and they don't ever take the gun out of the holster because I leave mine loaded. So I just set the holster up there and, can draw it if I need to. But even the skin and stuff that gets in on the gun between the holster and the gun. And, periodically take it out, blow it off, make sure all that stuff's good, and then go in and clean it, lubricate it. Because, when you take your gun apart, you will actually see those little skin particles and all that stuff. You will see it in your gun. Like through the backing plate, along the slide, it'll actually stick because you'll get oil on the slides, and you'll have a little bit of skin and stuff, just, and lint or whatever you got going on. Dust, I'm out in the dust a lot too. So dust blowing around, you can get dust in it. Just periodically check that. That's just kind of a PSA, just telling everyone to be aware of that stuff because it does happen. Let's see here, bed bugs. Yeah, lint every week for dust bunnies. Yeah, I mean, just be aware of that. A lot of people don't, and also if you mag carry in your pocket, all the guys that just throw an extra mag in their pocket, man, and I'm not joking around. I used to do that back in the day, and I would pull a mag out, and I used to carry the Neo mag way back when it first came out, and I did a video on it, but they had a small magnet. Now they've got the bigger magnet on the Neo mag, supposedly. But I don't carry baby guns, so I carry big full-size mags. And I had a double stack, I think it was the P09, and this was rated for heavy mags. Well, when I would clip it in my pocket, the mag would just fall off of it, and then it would go to the bottom of my pocket. Well, I would retrieve it, and I lifted it out one time, and between the feed lip and the bullet, it had a big piece of, pocket lint that you get from like washing your jeans and stuff. It was a piece of pocket lint wedged between the feed lip and the actual bullet. So it was right there at the front. So if I would have loaded that, could have caused a problem. So be aware of your gear. So yeah, and Romans, a lot of people do clean their guns every time when they come back from shooting them. I'm a little different. If I shoot a whole bunch through them, sometimes I'll come back and I'll just inspect them with, the open slide, and I'll look at it. If it's not too bad, I'll drop a little bit of oil in it, and I'll, put it up in. Now that's not going to be my carry gun, but I used to clean them every single time. I don't do that anymore. Haven't done it in a while. So, because I believe in, you got to kind of get a little crud on them and see what kind of buildup they can hold. Not saying shoot them until they stop. I will never do that. But I've put several thousand rounds through guns before I've cleaned them. So not carry guns, just testing guns. Radical firearms, yeah. So just be aware of your gear. Also, does everyone carry a tourniquet? Just while we're talking. Every day I carry a tourniquet, I carry a knife, I carry a flashlight, a backup mag, and a pistol. That's what I carry on my person every day. So don't know if y'all do that. And then I have stuff in the truck too, you know, another tourniquet, medical gloves. I'm not Mr. Medical, don't get me wrong. I carry some stuff like that just in case. And I've got paracord in my bag, just in case, you know, because, and this is the thing, you know, we all carry firearms and stuff, or a lot of us carry it every day, but you might not run into a shooting or have to use that. But man, there's car wrecks, there's car accidents, you could be driving down the road and see a kid fall off of a bicycle and rip something open to where you could help. So, you know, at least have one in the car. I highly recommend that. Let's see here. Yeah, Big Al, I hear you, man. Hope everything's well. But yeah, when I start cleaning guns, like I just did it on Sunday, I cleaned guns. I cleaned 7 guns, and not just the gun. I cleaned all the optics. I mean, I literally took Q-tips and went through all of the optics, cleaned them all off, blew them off, did everything to them. And I mean, I spent a ton of time on these guns, but it was a full GI inspection, the whole works, you know, really detailing it, cleaning it up good. But, and you know, they were dirty, but they weren't to where anything was going to mess anything up. Yeah, Big L. Yeah, and matter of fact, Lynx Defense has a thing that you can put on your headrest, and it's like a medical kit for a headrest in your truck. It's pretty awesome. I don't have one, but I think they're pretty damn cool. I have the ankle one, but the bad thing, you know, for me personally, is I wear boots, like cowboy boots, like every day, and the ankle kit, it's not, you know, it just doesn't work with cowboy boots. But if I were wearing like dress slacks and stuff like that, and regular shoes, I can wear it. The Gobi, that's what it's called, the Gobi. Constitution, okay. Yeah, I see a lot of people carry tourniquets. That's awesome. Yeah, and you know, that's one thing, and I will say this. I was a volunteer fireman when I was younger, a lot younger. And so I had to do a lot of, you know, go through some of the basic medical training and CPR and all that stuff. So I know the basics. But one thing I do need to take, and I'm being totally honest with everyone, I need to take a medical class. I really do. You know, I really want to be more proficient in that. You know, I was from the day, back in the day, when if you were trying to fix a bullet hole, you could stick a feminine product in it, but that is so, it is so frowned upon now. You definitely don't want to do that. You know, you could create some issues there. So I need to learn how to pack, you know, a wound properly, you know, to stop bleed and stuff like that. I need medical training. And what I have heard, I don't know if this is true, but I have heard that a lot of the areas that you live in, if you go to the fire department, that they put them on, actually even free of charge in some areas. I've heard that they put them on like once or twice a month, or excuse me, once a month or once every 2 months. And you can actually go down and they'll show you some of the basics, not like if you were to take a full-blown real tactical medical class, but I've heard that they will do some things like that. I don't know if every area does it. EMS does it too. Okay, Big Al saying EMS does it. Yeah, so that's just something, stop bleed class. Yeah, Dexter, that's what I'm saying. I need to, and I know how to use a tourniquet, you know. I haven't personally ever had to use one in real life, but one thing I did do, and it actually saved a person's life. We were at a restaurant and they were choking, and I had to do the Heimlich maneuver on this gentleman. And he wasn't a little guy, he was a big guy. And I had to do the Heimlich maneuver on him. He physically stopped breathing and was turning blue. And I did the Heimlich on him, and it took about 4 good pulls with me lifting him off the ground the correct way, you know, with loading it and doing it the correct way, right up under the sternum deal. And he finally coughed it out. And man, that was pretty scary, because I'm like, oh crap, I've got his life in my hands. You know, is it going to work? And luckily it did. So that was a long time ago, but okay, Red Cross will do a group for free. No, that's awesome. Yep, sucking chest. That's awesome, Roman. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's you know, I think any little thing like that. And you know what's funny is a lot of medical, especially, and I remember just when I was a fireman or volunteer fireman, you know, a lot of medical is different on a child than it is on an adult. So, you know, that would be cool to take a class where they're showing here's how you can help a small child, and here's how you could help, you know, even an elderly smaller woman or a full-size grown man. You know, so I think that's good when you're dealing with different body types. And I know a true professional could, you know, help us with that. So, yes. You're correct. And that's one thing, Big Al. I don't have a permanent marker physically on my person, but I do have a pen always. So, and I know on my cats, I've tried a little corner of it, and it doesn't write like a Sharpie, but it will leave a little. I've tested it with just leaving a little line on it, and it works. So, wow. Yeah, but you do need to write the time that you put the tourniquet on there. So Captain Phil is choked on a matzo ball. Man, that's, whew. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're okay. When I was like a 9, 8, or I might have been 7. I was like 7. I choked on a cherry sour. And, but that was the old days when my uncle just grabbed me from the back and just started beating me in the back. He wasn't doing the Heimlich maneuver. He's beating me in the back. And I finally coughed it up. But I don't know if him beating the hell out of me was what fixed me. I think I just actually finally coughed it up. But hey, you don't ever know when goofy stuff's going to happen. Oh, and what was crazy, and this actually happened today. I was at a counter. There was a man in front of me. He was a very short man, and he was a very large man. He was sitting there. The lady who was helping him, she went to go get what he needed. He was sitting there, and I heard these really weird noises, and his head was down. And then I heard him snoring. He's standing up at a counter, and he actually fell asleep. And I was looking at him, and I thought, and he was sitting there, and he started wiggling back and forth, and I was like, oh crap, he passed out, he's going down. And I went to reach for him, and then he goes, oh, and he turned around real quick, and I was like, are you okay? And he goes, I fell asleep. So he actually had narcolepsy. That's what he had. I've never seen that, I mean, in person, like standing at a counter, but he actually had narcolepsy. So that's crazy. I mean, you know, I feel bad that he had that, but I mean, to go to sleep that quickly, it was like minutes. He was out. So narcolepsy, yeah. So you never know what could happen. And I was worried about him falling back and hitting his head on the hard floor. Because I don't know if I could have caught him, but I could have caught his head, at least so he wouldn't hit his head on the floor. All right. Well, we are getting really close. Got a couple of minutes. If y'all have any more questions, I can answer. I'll try to do that as quickly as possible. And don't get me wrong on the USPSA. I'm not hating USPSA. I'm not quitting USPSA. I'm not doing any of that. I just think it could have been handled a lot differently. And you know, I spent a lot of money on those guns, and now basically for what? I mean, you know, and I know a lot of other people did too. And I really feel bad for the companies that have invested all the time, the machinery, all the programming and all that. And now they've lost a bunch of income overnight. I just don't think that was real cool. Ranger. Okay. What I have got coming up on the channel is I have got some versus video, gun versus gun. So I've got that coming up. I have got some new gear coming from a person that I'm really excited about. So I will be testing that out. And I can't say who it is, and I can't say what it is yet, but I'm excited about that. Let's see here. I have got another item for the 308 that will be coming that I can test on that. I'm going to be shooting the suppressors a lot more. You know, just stuff like that. So I've got some gear that I've been testing for quite a while. I've put a lot of hints out on Instagram what it is. So if y'all, and even on the YouTube community pictures. So when I said review coming soon, so that review will be coming out, and I'll just tell you, I'll tell you where I am with this. It is probably one of the best. I can't say what it is, but it is probably one of the best I've ever tried. So very, very, very impressed with this item. And I've been testing it for a long time. I've had this thing for almost 2 months, and I've been testing it quite a bit. And I'm super, super excited about this one more than any of the other ones. And I'll explain that in the video. I'll talk about what I've always liked and what I didn't like about some of these items. And this one has cured all of that. So I think y'all will really like it. And I'm telling you, save your money, because I'm not this one gets 2 thumbs up. I don't do that on every freaking video. You know, I'm not that guy. But this one, I would definitely highly recommend. Yes, Romans, one thing I am going to be doing is I am going to be doing some outdoor shooting. The only thing that I'm doing a lot of indoor shooting with the rifles is because my cans are there. They're still in jail. I can shoot them there, but I can't take them. And that's why I really like to go there, so I'm able to shoot my cans. Because, you know, shooting cans is fun. And I do want to do that as much as possible. But you are right. I am going to be getting out and shooting rifles outdoor. So... Pistol Pete, you're a smart guy. Oh, here's one question. Let me grab this. Dexter, how do I fix a low left with live fire? If I do dry fire with a laser target setup, seem to be right on. It could be a couple of things. It could be recoil anticipation, because some people will, you know, do that when it fires, so you can drop it, and then also trigger finger. Is pretty common. Now, when I start doing that, I actually have a weak left hand. So if you've got your 100% grip, you know, they'll say 60-40 and all that. That's stupid. Just grip it. Grip it good with both hands. Firm grip. But if you have too much finger in there, that can cause that. If you don't have enough finger, if you're using just the tip, so use that first pad, the middle of your finger of your first pad right there, right in the center, and pull to the back. Don't hook your finger, because if you're trying to slap at it, you're going to push the gun, you're going to push the trigger to the left. Push the trigger straight in the middle of it and pull it straight back. And everything's always better in dry fire. I'm just letting you know, mistakes are less in dry fire. So what I would do is check your grip, shoot it. If you're pulling left, move your finger, shoot it with the same tight grip, and then analyze your shots. Analyze what you're doing, because if I start getting in that habit, you know, I can see low left, I can see left or right, and then I'll adjust my grip, or I'll pull this hand up higher, and then I can fix myself. So as you start shooting more, or, you know, getting used to it, you can figure it out yourself. Now, you can watch a lot of videos that'll tell you, you know, try this, try that, try that. But if you'll analyze yourself, then you'll know, okay, I had a weak left hand. I used too much trigger finger, not enough trigger finger. So that way you can lock that into your brain and not what a video might be telling you. That's what I would do. Yes, and Links, please don't get me started on NFA. I can go to the muffler shop tomorrow, and I can have mufflers put on my truck and leave there in 2 hours, and they're freaking mufflers. That's all they are. A suppressor or a silencer, or however you want to call it, they're actually called silencers on your form. It's a damn muffler for your gun, and it's an accessory. So it should not require a $200 bribe fee. You know, you should be able to walk out the door with it, period. So that's my opinion, and that's the last I'm going to say, or it won't be the last, but that's what I'll say about it today. Well, damn, now you tell me. Well, Uncle Dan, that would have been fun, and I would have done that. What's up, Tactical Considerations? How are you, brother? Let's see here. Has anyone bought the IWI Masada? I'll answer this one real quick. All right. Has anyone bought the IWI Masada? I shot it a little bit and was surprised. I like IWI, so I picked it up, just wondering if anyone has any info. James, I know that 1776 has one. He really likes it. I have shot Humble's IWI Masada. It's actually a really good gun. It's very underrated for the price that you can get them now. It's a steal, and they're optic ready. And the mags are not very expensive at all. So if you like that large of a pistol, some people think it's too large. I think it's fine, but I've got big hands. But I think it's a great gun. I have not heard of one issue with it. So I highly recommend it. And it has a really good trigger for what it is. There's some things like the mag or the slide release. If you look at it, it kind of looks, and IWI makes Israeli battle weapons, so they make good stuff. But it just looks a little flimsy, but I did try to push on it and do some stuff like that, and I couldn't bend it. It just looks like it's kind of like sheet metal-y, but I'm assuming it's pretty rigid because I couldn't bend it. And there is one gun brand out there that I could bend. I mean, I just pushed on it and it bent. So I'm not going to here to, because I do know people that have those guns, and I'm not here to criticize anybody or beat anybody up or throw a brand under the bus, because I know a lot of people really like that particular brand, but I could bend that thing with my hand. And what was my concern is if somebody really gripped it hard, because I have a high grip and I grip that side really hard, and on a lot of guns I ride the mag release, and with my grip I could probably bend that damn thing and then the slide wouldn't stay back. So that's why I don't care for that particular one. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and shut this down. It's 8:04. I went a little bit over the time. I appreciate everyone. You know, there's a lot of channels on here. Please subscribe to everyone and check each other out. We will be back next Wednesday. And if you have any questions, please leave them after the video. I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Also, check me out on Instagram. Now I am over on TikTok. I've been over there for, I don't know, a couple of weeks. It's, you know, it is what it is. But I just think it's another platform where I can get some 2A information out there. So if it's there, I'm going to try to use it. And again, I've tried Gunstreamer and I've tried these other things. Just don't get the traffic because it's not an app. This TikTok is actually an app. I think it's kind of cheesy sometimes because it's a bunch of goofy stuff. But if I can maybe get those people introduced to firearms, hey, that's what it's about. And there's a lot of younger people over there. I did set mine for 18 and up. Some people might lie and they might not be 18. However, you know, trying to get the new generation gun oriented and show that guns are friendly and that we are good people who carry guns. So that's what it's about. But if y'all have any questions or comments after the stream, please leave them. I appreciate y'all so much. And remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.